Seriously, we're gonna start at. You want to start in Westminster? Or you want to start before Westminster?
You're the podcaster.
All right, perfect. Then I'm gonna start before Westminster. I'm gonna start with when you were a kid playing in Tamiami,
Oof.
way back when. I want you to tell me what is your first memory about playing baseball?
My first baseball.
Yeah.
Well, it was before Tamiami, actually. It was Perrine Corey League.
Oh,
Good old P. Ryan Corey League. Um, I don't really remember this, but I feel like I remember it now because I told us. But I guess my first game ever, I got a coach pitch. I got a nice hit to the outfield, and then my was running a first, and my first base coach goes, "Keep going, keep going." So I ran straight to the field fence.
you ran to the
I
fence,
didn't know what to do. He just told me to keep going.
so you just kept running in a straight line
So I went straight to the fence.
into like. Did you guys have the little mesh orange fence?
We had just a little like chain link fence.
That's hilarious, man.
That-
Were you as were you as good the minute you started playing? Were you like the best player on the field?
no, it was always Dustin Delgado. He was always the best player in the league. He was like so mad. He was always better than me growing up.
Were you really?
Yeah, but yeah, he was like a Perennial Core League legend. And Tam.
And did you always play on the same team as him, even when you went to Tamiami?
No, he was usually the first pick. I was the second pick when they did the Perrine draft.
Oh, so how did you guys end up on the same team if you was the second if you were the second pick?
No, we never played on the same team, but it always bothered me.
Oh, I gotcha.
Best player in the league. Ricky Sabio's in that league too. He was stud. We were kind of the best three.
Ricky Eusebio?
Yeah,
Well, did you look at that? Who's Ricky again?
really cute dude. Really good center fielder.
Wow, that's so cool. And if you told me, would you have known that you were gonna have the career that you had when you were a little kid? Did you know that already, or was it always just a dream?
I don't know if I knew it, but it was always a dream. But I guess like I expected it to happen, just because I feel like every little kid, you know, you expect to live out your dreams. You expect to accomplish those things.
Do you think how much did the people around you think motivated you to understand that it was possible to, I guess a lot of kids don't realize how possible it is to make it, right? And be as successful as, let's say, somebody like David Thompson was. But how did you know it was even possible?
Um, well, I mean, it starts with my family believed in me, of course. Like especially like my parents. My dad was always, and my mom threw me hundreds and hundreds of baseballs and played catch with me, throwing the football in the back and basketball, whatever it was. I don't remember ever getting home and not practicing in some way. Um, but yeah, and I had coaches growing up that always, believed in me even when I had a bad attitude and would throw stuff, get fired. The My parents would tell the coaches, "Hey, like, please don't play David. His attitude's too bad." And they're like, "No, but we gotta win. We gotta."
When did you find out that your attitude was terrible?
I think I kind of knew at a young age, but I couldn't control it. I wanted to win too bad. But
I wonder if do you think that helped you or hurt you?
I don't think it hurt me. I think part of it was like I did expect to. It really bothered me when I got out or did something wrong. It bothered me to my core. So I think that was a good part. I think the way I showed it wasn't always the best part, but yeah, I don't think I have
You know,
competitive edge.
I'm really glad you brought that up because why is it so bad to care?
Yeah,
Why is that frowned upon? Why is it bad to throw a helmet if you're mad? Like because you got out, the guy struck you out. You should be mad, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I think something's wrong with you if you strike out and it's like, oh, this is awesome. It's like, no, it's not awesome. That guy just beat
Like it's not okay. Why does everybody say and I think it's because there's like this stigmatism in baseball, like you have 100 and whatever games, but I'll get mad every game. If like doesn't mean you have to go home mad,
you. Yeah.
but it's a why is it I don't understand what that mentality is in baseball. And football, didn't you used to get mad all the time?
Yeah, of course. It's like, just wanted to win. If we weren't winning or wasn't playing well, I was always mad.
Yeah, why should you be happy? All right, so now that's another thing that I really wanted to talk about. How much do you think? Well, when did you start playing basketball and football? Was it all at the same age, or did you start at different ages?
I mean, all super young, but different.
Uh-huh.
Baseball, like 5, basketball, probably 6 or 7, and then football, 9 or 10, something like that.
How much do you think your like playing multiple sports helped you, or do you think it helped you or hurt you?
I think it helps. I think everyone should play all the sports in the world.
Do you think you could have played more sports than just those three?
I tried. I tried to play volleyball in high school, but if our baseball game got rained out or practice, but Emil wasn't too fond of that. But
Was he even happy with you playing all three?
I don't think at first, but I think eventually he didn't mind. But
Oh, at first he was upset about it.
not upset. I think basketball the most, just because it overlapped a little bit with baseball. But
David, you've told me this story before, but can you explain to me how you really didn't pick up a bat till baseball season?
yeah, I mean, I would hit every now and then, like a few times before baseball, but it was always like football season. I was just like locked into football, and then basketball season fully locked into that, and then baseball same thing. Just
Well,
I don't know, just how I grew up doing it and did it. That's what I did through high school too.
wow, man. I just can't understand that because I literally swung a baseball bat. If there was 365 days of the year, I swung the baseball bat 365 days of the year.
You just
I don't remember not swinging a baseball bat.
yeah.
And you never were you ever worried like, oh, I'm gonna lose my swing?
No, I think the only time I ever started thinking that was when I started only playing baseball. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. You don't even. I just remember in high school and even my first. Like, I remember my first scrimmage in football and like walked over. I was like, yeah. I hadn't swung in forever. I'm gonna go hit. I'm gonna rake. Like just expected it. So I hit 2 doubles my first scrimmage in college. Just like literally just hadn't done anything with them, and then it's just. I think when I started just playing baseball is when I really started, which it's good. Like I'm definitely into feeling a better swing mechanically and all that stuff. But my mindset was just so much better when I played multiple sports because I didn't. There was no worry that something was wrong. I just expected it to be right.
I, it's so unbelievable because I can't even like I wish I could sit here and say, "Oh, I understand what you're saying," but I have no idea what that means. That is absolutely insane to me. But I think it's a testament again to how just being athletic. Like, do you think you were actually playing a sport? Like baseball was a sport, like football was, like basketball was. It wasn't like a technique. You weren't trying to. Were you never really trying to do anything at all? Like you were just playing to compete.
Yeah, exactly. I had never like. I honestly never thought about. I mean, Emil was Dax. All those guys at Westminster were amazing. Or never thought about mechanics until college. I
Where did you where did you first like face some adversity? Like where was the first time in baseball where you were like, man, this is a little different?
Probably my freshman year in college was when I was just. I started off really hot, was doing really well, and then I think I went 0 for 12 or something against Duke one weekend. just a brutal series. And then I got benched for 2 weeks. And I was like, man, I wasn't that happy. Man, one bad series, but yeah, it was hard. That was the first time I ever been benched, or not one of the dudes or something.
What about in high school? What about like your senior year? If we were to kind of go back to when you were getting ready, obviously you were a top prospect. You were, in my eyes, one of the best players. Oh, I mean, not in my eyes. I mean, you just look at the stat sheet. I know you don't like to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. You're literally one of the best baseball players to ever come out of Miami-Dade County. And why, like, what was different about your senior year, and how did you really handle the draft process? Did you ever think about it? Did you ever worry about it?
Yeah, I definitely thought about it. You see mock drafts come out, stuff like that. It's exciting. You start to think about it and all that stuff. But I also really dreamt of playing at Miami my whole life. So there was like, I think everyone's lying to you if they hope they're not a first round pick and sign, like, out of high school. Of course I wanted that, but I was also super happy that, no matter what, I had just an amazing opportunity, something I dreamt of doing since I was a little kid.
I've asked a lot of people this question, and I don't think I've ever asked you this, but did you dream more about playing in the big leagues or playing at Miami?
Man, I remember probably playing at Miami, honestly. Just always wanted to. I grew up since I was 5 going to those games, and used to go down to the visitor bullpen, tell them how they all wish they could go to Miami because, when it was right on all the little kids,
Right there.
all the little kids are always chirping the away team. Um, but yeah, I always dreamed of that, a dream come true. It really was.
Man, what when was the first call that you got for the draft when you were in high school?
Um, Called in the second, um, and they were offering me below slot all this stuff, but it was kind of a no brainer, honestly, for me.
Now looking back as a grown man, can you believe that an 18-year-old kid said no to that amount of money?
It is crazy.
With all the confidence in the world, you said it too, right? I'm sure.
Yeah,
You're like, no.
yeah. There wasn't even. I mean, part of that was Mike Malik too, my agent. Wait, all right, let's do it.
Wow. I think about it all the time, and I'll never forget when I was in that situation. I picked up the phone and I felt disrespected.
Yeah,
Like, nope, nope. 18 years old. And I was like, what? You're going to offer me that? Oh, like, why would you do that? I honestly felt disrespected. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to Miami. But I think Miami might have meant something different to kids like us, don't you think?
yeah. I mean, I definitely think still now. Like, grew up in Miami. I don't know why anyone would not want to go to Miami and play for the Hurricanes. It's crazy to me.
Like,
I mean, I don't know
so,
if the whole world would want to go play there. It's crazy, but
yeah. Is your phone like on something like this, like standing up?
yeah.
Because you're breaking in and out a little bit.
Is that better?
There we go. That's better.
Is it sideways now?
It's okay. As long as it's like, yeah, that's better.
Do like this?
Yeah, I hear it perfect now. No, I think I was actually talking to Javi yesterday, and he kind of said, like, if you don't understand what it is to play in front of every single one of your family members, and you're a kid that grew up in Miami, there's no reason why you shouldn't try to put that uniform on.
Yeah.
Like, what's the feeling when you would come out of those double doors and see your family out there and just waiting for you to come outside?
No, it's the best. It's the best when there's not enough tickets for you to leave for your family.
Because Willie took them all.
No, that was all these Miami guys just.
Like, how long have you, and that's another thing that we were very fortunate to do. We played with all the guys prior to getting there, either with or against them. and beat them up. Like I don't know how many times I beat your team like in high school. Like, it was just beat you guys over and over
That's
again,
one of the
and then we got to play together in college, right? Like,
funniest jokes you ever said in your life.
oh my gosh. No, all right. Well, let's talk about Westminster because seriously, Emil and Dax and all those guys, like, what is so different about them? Why are they actually so good at what they do? And like, give me a little background because I've met them all, and you feel it right away. But like, as a player, every day going in through the ins and outs, like, what makes them so special?
I think the biggest thing is what we were talking about earlier is they just simply care. Like they care about you as a player, they care about you as a person, as a man you're becoming, and then they care about the game and they want to win. And it's man, I can't describe how much I love those guys. Just every single day they're the same. Always in a great mood, always pushing you, they expect a lot, but they also give you a lot. And if you're not working to that level that they're expecting, it's like all right, I guess you don't want to practice today. You can just go home. So I don't know. The culture there that Emil has built is just amazing.
Do you ever have a dream of like going back to Westminster and helping Emil out?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
Oh, you hit it! You heard it here first. David Thompson's going back to Westminster.
No,
Yes, sir.
you gotta be careful. Allison's sitting over there. She's gonna hear.
Allison going back to Miami. David Thompson back
No, not.
to Westminster Christian. Not yet. Not yet. Sorry. Sorry. No, I don't think there will be a better storybook ending to than you be the one to join that staff. And I mean, it's just I really can't describe a story that would end better than that right there because I know how much those guys mean to you and how much passion you have for that school and how much love you have for everybody that has to do with not only that program but that school in general, right? And have you ever thought of coaching maybe football as well?
Yeah, I thought about it. Especially Patrick, one of my best friends, went and he just got the head job at Westminster football coach. So he's already like, hey, you gotta come be my QB coach. I'm like, not yet, not yet.
Oh man. And all right, so let's get into the most important thing because this is actually what a lot of people don't realize. And me as a fan of yours for my entire life, right? Like I remember growing up and being able to, again, all these things that are very stereotypical. And I know you as David Thompson don't care about one bit, but me as a fan and as a kid growing up in Miami, like I would see your highlight videos. I would see all the football, the basketball, like you dunking on somebody. The next week you're throwing a TD and the next week you're hitting 3 homers in a game, right? Like those are the things that I grew up watching. But one of the things that you are so embedded in, and it's how I see you is somebody that walks alongside of the Lord like nobody I've ever seen before. And the influence I think that you have on the people that you come across is second to none. And where did that start for you? And how has that impacted your entire life from when you were a kid to where you are now as a grown man?
Yeah, I mean, well, thank you. That means a lot. Um, I hope when people think of me, they think of a follower of Jesus above all else. I hope that's my identity more than anything else. That's for sure. But it started as a kid, especially my grandpa. He was a pastor of a church, and just the way he just like I always call him the richest poor man I've ever known. Like that dude, just like had no money, but I feel like he gave everybody all his money all the time. It was the coolest thing ever, and so I always wanted to be like my grandpa. Um, and then just even at Westminster, like your faith is, I mean, Christian school, obviously, but your faith is something that is always challenged. And just awesome people there. My parents too. And then, I mean, especially in these last 5, 6 years of my life, Brian Hommel, he's actually the Diamondbacks chaplain, has just, I mean, impacted me more than maybe anybody ever. Um, so it's been cool. But yeah, it's I definitely I love Jesus more than anything else. I think all these I mean, obviously accomplishing stuff. It's cool, but it's like at the end of the day, what happens with it? It's just gone. You know, you die and they stay here, and you don't get to have those accomplishments anymore. So I think I don't think the greatest thing you can ever do is have someone win it for you, and that's what Jesus did. It's pretty cool.
Do you think a lot of the confidence that you hold is because of Jesus?
Yeah, I think man, when I'm walking close with Him, when I'm in a good just right with the Lord, I just feel better. You know, I know I just know all this stuff that it's all small stuff. You know, you have these obstacles, these hurdles happen, and it's all small stuff because He's got you. You know, He's walking with you. But yeah, for sure.
How if somebody's looking to get closer to God and kind of looking for a way to be able to find Him, right? Because a lot of people are lost, like we all know, and we all been there, right? But what do you recommend they do first and foremost?
I mean, first foremost, I mean, there's this right here. This good book. It's a great book. Give it a read. It's the best. Uh, that's what I would recommend first. But also, man, I think one thing that's helped me in my walk, my faith, is just learn how to be vulnerable with people. Not having all these like I don't, all like, oh, I'm so good at this. This. It's like no, like everyone's got their stuff too. When I first learned how to just be honest and real with other people, I feel like I've felt so much more freedom and just I feel like that's what God just wants us to be honest and real with him. If you're upset at him, tell him. If you're mad at him, or you don't like something, tell him. He can take it. He's greater than our feelings. That's for sure.
I'll keep some things to the side, but we had a conversation this summer that I'm trying not to cry, bro. So give me a second, please. Thank you. We had a conversation this summer that, dang, David, jeez, bro. Honestly, can you tell him to stop doing whatever he's doing, please? It's so annoying. So we had a conversation this summer, and kind of the base of the conversation was accepting that we're not perfect, right? Like knowing that it's okay to fall short sometimes, and you kind of gave me a little bit of a pep talk in a way, and saying like, hey, I always wasn't perfect. You know, I've messed up and I've sinned just like anybody else, right? So like, I guess I always put you on this pedestal, right? Like that you were always perfect, and I thought like that was kind of what I wanted to hit, right? Like I wanted to be like you, and I don't know if I'm even asking you a question, but realize, dude, bro. Um, wow, bro. I'm glad I have this recorded. Oh man. So I think that realizing that you weren't perfect and you still strive to be perfect, um, made me like hold you to even higher standard, you know? And like, where does that come from? Like, why? Like, how are you able to do that on a daily basis?
Like, do what? Sorry.
How are you able to just like, how are you able to figure out like, let me let go. Like, it's okay to not be perfect and still strive to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, still strive to be a follower of Jesus and get as close as I can to him.
Yeah, I mean, Keith doesn't expect perfection out of us, but he expects progress. I think that's like sports too, like baseball. I mean, you don't expect anyone
Yeah.
to hit 1,000, but you expect them to work and get better. Um, and I don't know. Man, the first time, I mean, it was Brian Hummel. Tyler Keel. Those are Tyler Beatty. Those guys are the first guys. David Kaplan that I just like was super honest and real with. Felt so, felt shame about some of the stuff in my life. A lot of shame. And then it was like, how do you think they responded? Were they beating me up? No, they were just holding me and loving me, crying with me. And that's what community is. That's what brothers are. And that's what Jesus does. We don't go to him and hide our stuff. We give it to him. And what does he do? He holds us. He takes that sin. He walks on a cross and hangs, for us. That's how much he loves us.
Yeah. You talked about community, and do you think surrounding yourself with people that have a common goal can help you kind of succeed and continue to move forward in life?
Yeah, you need it, man. I mean, you need people around you that are pushing you to be better, and also just there for you when like I kind of we were talking about. Sometimes you got to cry with someone. Sometimes you just got to listen. Sometimes you got to speak life into them. But yeah, special like you need the. It's like Allison. Like she just my biggest encourager. She also tell me when hey, you need to do this better. It's like she's not shy. That one over there, but it's good. It's really good.
I have a shy one. Mine's really shy. She doesn't really say much to me.
She's the shyest.
Oh man. All right. So we've talked about the hardest things, obviously, but I want to talk a little bit about getting to Miami, right? I'm sorry. I didn't think it was going to be this emotional, but I don't know if it's emotional for you or me, but it's very emotional for me. Oh man, because I know how much you care, and I know how amazing of a human being you are. But that's besides the point. Enough. Let's get into some fun stuff.
Okay.
All right. So talk to me about walking onto the Miami campus and being able to play football, or the lack of being able to play football. Tell me about that experience and how that kind of all played out when you got on campus.
Well, I went there right after senior year for the summer, so that summer, and man, talk about culture shock. Go from the little tiny Westminster to the University of Miami football team. Like, man, I was so intimidated. It was a whole new world for me, but it was awesome, man. Some of the just awesome dudes, but also just beasts. These guys are monsters in there. Um, yeah, it was a culture shock for sure.
Did you see yourself being able to play at that level, or what is it like, something like, oh man, I don't know if I could still do this?
No, I definitely thought I could. I really thought I could. Yeah, I didn't get to, but yeah, I never thought I wouldn't be able to play.
How much did you actually get to play when you first stepped on campus?
And a good old two summer weeks. It's really awesome until the first surgery happened. But
Oh man.
flings my freshman and sophomore year during football season. So
So I remember my first vivid memory of seeing you on campus was with a shoulder with your shoulder in a sling,
yeah,
and with a little red ball, right?
great
At the end of it.
red ball.
You love that thing, huh?
Love that thing.
So again, that's something that many people don't understand. How many surgeries have you had, David Thompson?
The um, I've had 6 surgeries.
How much of them were like? I know now at this point they're just like whatever, like you just gotta go in and go out. But talk to me about your first 2 surgeries, right? Was it the first time you had shoulder surgery when you got to Miami?
Yeah, after the couple weeks of football, had shoulder surgery. But I got healthy for baseball, and that baseball season was like freshman year baseball. It was like halfway through, like my shoulder was just killing me again, and that's when I went to the doctor. Like, hey, you need surgery again. Just like, dang. So
Did you have both labrum? Like that was labrum?
Labrum, labrum.
What was wrong the second time?
It was.
What happened?
It wasn't as bad the second time. The first time was like the full like the bicep came off the whatever up there. I don't know exactly how it works in there. And then it was like the second one's just a smaller version of the first.
All right.
Yeah.
Now so obviously those are, a labrum is one of the most gruesome injuries to have to go through, and for a baseball player, right, having to throw.
Yeah.
So that I think goes without saying, but talk to me about what happened your sophomore year.
That was a weird one. That was we just played Georgia Tech. And that was one of my best years I ever had. I think I went 10 for 11 that series. It was a crazy series. And got back Monday off day. I was on a bike ride. All of a sudden I'm like, man, I can't feel a bike. Like, weird. And so I'm like, oh, that's weird. So I just kept biking, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I think we gotta turn around. I don't know what's wrong. I can't hold it. I can't feel the bike. And so, anyways, next day was Tuesday. We actually had a game. So I had a workout that morning. I remember Eggy, he was my locker mate, walked in, and Edgar was like, DT, you look jacked today. I'm like, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. And so, anyways, go to the gym doing wheel rollouts. All of a sudden, I look at my arm, like my triceps, like massive. Like, that is not good. Go to the trainer. They didn't quite know what was going on. So I was still playing that game. So I go to the cage. I'm like, I still can't feel. I'm like, coach, I can't feel the bat. I can't hold it. I don't understand. And so same thing happened the next day. We had another game that Wednesday, and they had me hit BP on the field that day, and I'm just trying to play. And so again, I'm like, coach, I can't hold the bat. I don't know why. And that's when they took me in. I had the blood clot and the thoracic outlet surgery to follow it. But yeah, that was a crazy one.
How long were you in the hospital for that one? Because I know you're saying it like it was no big deal, but I mean, you were dancing already. You were dancing.
Yeah, it was like
you were on a,
it was like 12 days or something in the hospital. It was a long one.
Oh man, David.
Yeah, but had a lot of good visitors. So yeah, that's right.
Oh man. But again, I think that goes back to your perseverance and your lack of worry, right? Like I think, do you think that's when you have to lean the most on like God during those times? Because it seemed from the outside looking in, and I guess I've never asked you this, but I'd love to know, like, how did you feel at those times? Like emotionally, spiritually, like how did you feel going through all of these, just continue to get knocked down, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard. I mean, definitely times I was like, God, give me a break. Like, let me play. But no, the blood clot one was the first time I, like, as soon as it was Dr. Kaplan, he's the man, but walked out to like talk to me. It was my dad and I. As soon like, you just like see someone, it's like, oh great, something serious. But he told me, and my first question was like, will I ever play again? I was like, that's all I was worried about at the time. He's like, yeah, you're gonna play again. He's like, don't know how long it'll be, but like, all right. But yeah, you definitely gotta lean on the Lord, then lean on the people around you to just lift you up and get you through.
How long was that recovery?
I think I played like 40 something days later. 50 days,
Woo!
40 or 50 days later, yeah.
Right into the playoffs, huh? Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Yeah.
All right, let's not talk about how that year ended, but let's fast forward a little bit, because now we talk about something that I think was the coolest thing as a baseball player. Talk to me about going to Cape Cod and when you stepped into the Cape, right? I remember being in your apartment in right across from the mall, and I remember seeing the Firebirds, like whatever it's called, the kind of the pamphlet that everybody gets who's going over there to kind of fill out and stuff like that. Talk to me how excited you actually were to go play in the Cape, and did it meet all of your expectations?
Yeah, I was super excited just because heard it was so much fun, the best league, blah blah blah. But I was also super nervous because I finished that after that, came back from that surgery. I finished the year so bad, like I hit so bad. I'm like, dang, I'm going to Cape to finish bad, and I started. I mean, our team was stacked. I'm like looking around, like, dude, these are the best players I ever played with at that time. But yeah, I started the summer 1 for 24. I'm like, gosh,
Pretty good start, man.
like maybe I don't know how to hit anymore. But that's when Benny Craig got the Benny
Woo!
got the best of the best hitting coach around. So ended up having a good summer. But yeah,
Walk,
loved it.
walk me through what you changed or what stayed the same or what really made you make like where did the switch flip for you that summer?
You know, I don't even think I ever told Benny this, but I was just finished the game with another offer. That was at the time when I was 1 for 24. Um, like I'm in the clubhouse all down. He calls me over and he literally just put his arm around me and just like I was like, "Hey, I think you're such a good hitter. I think you're such a great player. You're gonna have a great summer." And he's like, "Let's work every day." I'm like, "Done." And then he just like he's the best mindset coach you could ever have. Just like your ultimate hype man. Makes you think like you're the best hitter ever. You know. So that was kind of the switch flip. Also, Christian A was catching the next game and told me every pitch that was coming, which
Shout out Chinea.
yeah, appreciate that.
Oh man, that's hilarious. How did you do that game, by the way?
I think I went 3 for 4 or 4 for 4. Man, I took some nasty breaking balls though. I was seeing the ball well then.
You're seeing it all the way in, okay.
That's right.
You were tunneling it.
Yeah.
Choo choo train, you were seeing it through the...
Exactly.
Oh man, did that kind of get your confidence where it needed to be and just like absolutely take off after that? Like talk to me about after that game.
Yeah. After that game, I mean, I killed it. Killed it that summer. Maybe one of the best I've ever played in my life was that summer.
Now, I know one of the things that a lot of us had to deal with, but making a swing change in the summer and then coming back to your school with a different swing in the fall after not really not being successful, right? I mean, obviously you played like, I don't know how many games you played, probably 10, honestly, like right at the end of your sophomore year.
Yeah.
So realistically, coming back with a new swing back onto campus, how did that go? How did that go with the coaching staff?
Well, I was all fired up because I'm like, man, they got to see my numbers and how I did,
Yeah.
and first day, literally the first day, it's like, hey, that swing's not going to play here. What? But man, credit to all the coaches. I was like, hey, can we have a meeting after practice tomorrow? So had a meeting, talked. I'm like, hey, I think this is what really helped me. This made me really successful this summer, or I think it's going to make me successful this year, and just what I think's best. And they were like, sweet, if you think so. It's like I won't like, and it was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
Shout out to Gino.
yeah,
Shout out to Gino for that.
yep,
Because I think that's one of the things that I really want people to understand, right? This isn't in the time where everybody was up for a swing change, right? This was right before the whole Donaldson thing, I think, right? So this was in the time where getting your foot down early and hitting was the name of the game, like the everything. Like, hey, just get your foot down, get your
get your
get your
foot,
barrel to the ball, huh?
get your foot down and swing down.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
too.
And then you came back with your standing as tall as possible and your knee was hitting your chin when you were hitting. Like it's just going against the grain so much of what people thought till about that point, right?
Yeah.
So you were kind of one of the first to do that, at least down. I mean, when I saw your swing, I was like, wait, he's really hitting like that?
Yeah, swinging up for the first time.
Wow, man. So talk about now, right before. I laugh, man. It's not funny. But we've already talked about 3 surgeries in 2 years. But I'll never forget, I'm walking to the gym for a workout, I think during Christmas break. And all of a sudden, I see you walking with Kenny somewhere. And I'm like, where are you going, David? Like, we're working out. And he goes, no. Where were you going, David?
Just, back to see my best friend, Kaplan. Needed a quick surgery before the year.
What happened? What, like, how did, I honestly don't know. I'm asking you right now because I don't remember what happened or when did you get hurt?
It was, I had like I still have a weird left elbow for whatever reason, always have, but I've had 3 surgeries on it. That was my second one actually, that day you're talking about. Um, but yeah, just like woke up and my elbow was like, I couldn't straighten it. It's just like I have bone chips and cartilage, all this stuff in there and then a bone spur in there that they had to get rid of.
What in the world, bro? Do you ever sit back and say, like, how is this even possible? Like, have you heard anybody? And again, I know it's gonna get crazier because I know where these stories go. But by this point in time, where's your head at, and what are you thinking about? Like, was it just another day for you, or was it bothersome?
I was just, like annoyed, honestly. Like, man, like gotta do this. And then I knew it was gonna be a quick recovery, so I kind of just wanted to get out of the way as soon as possible if I can be back as soon as possible. But yeah, that one didn't bother me as much because I knew it wasn't like a major surgery.
I know you think it's normal, David, but like normal people don't take surgeries that way, bro. Like people get scared about like a wisdom tooth. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, ah. I'll never forget that day. You literally said like, oh, I have to go have surgery. I'm like, what are you talking about, David? And you're like, no, yeah, it's fine. I'll be back. Like, I'm like, before the season? Like, hopefully? Like, yeah. No big deal. You were as cool, calm, and collected as I've ever seen you.
What happens when you've been there before,
All right. So now we're at surgery number 4, right? And still now you're getting into your junior year season, right? How did you feel right before that season? Like, did you know things were going to go the way they did? Or, like, what did you feel that was maybe different? What happened?
I mean, I felt super confident going into that year. I mean, I had flown back up to see Benny right before season started, so got locked in with him. And then yeah, I was just excited, ready to go. I was expecting a big year that year just from the Cape and how my swing was feeling. So yeah, I was just ready to go.
Did you fall short of your expectations?
No, that was a better year than I could have imagined. It was pretty awesome. But we also I knew even going into the season, our lineup from 1 to 9 was crazy. So it was like everyone was going to get good pitches to hit.
Where did we hide you in the lineup there? Did you hit 7th, 8th, or something? Where did we hide you?
I had 3rd and 4th my freshman and sophomore year, and then I had 5th my junior year.
So your worst year, they put you at 5th? That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Huh?
Best year ever had. Moved down the lineup.
Well, 3 has a way of making you know that. I don't know, man. I think he knows what he's doing. I mean, if you really think about it, right? Were you the 3rd best hitter on that team? I'd say you were the 2nd. Nobody was better than George.
No, he's the best hitter ever.
I've never seen somebody. I had him on here already, and he gave us the agent spiel. He let it rip on us real quick.
Yeah.
But I've never seen somebody get 3 hits in 2 at-bats, is what it felt like that year.
I know. If he looked at the ball, it was going to fall somewhere. It was going to be...
Do you remember in Virginia? Do you remember he pulled himself out of a game in Virginia? Did you know that?
No, I had no idea.
So we're playing against Virginia, and he has 2 hits in the game against what was the lefty that they had that was really good?
Kirby?
Was it Kirby?
No.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
No. Who was the guy with the slider?
Oof.
Connor Jones.
I have nightmares about that guy.
So did George. So, I mean, he said he did. I don't think he did, but
Yeah.
I think he was lying. So he had 2 hits in the first 2 innings because we put it on him pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he comes into the dugout. He missed a ground ball through his legs. So he comes inside the dugout, and he tells 3-3, you got to take me out. And 3 goes, why? He goes, I can't see. My contact fell out, and I can't find it. No, I can't see. He goes, George, you have 2 hits in the game. When did you lose your contacts? He goes, to the first inning.
Oh, my gosh. Typical.
So he was scared. Like, he thought he was going to get in trouble for missing the ground ball. We were up 5 or 6 runs. You know how that went. And then all of a sudden, this guy's in the dugout, David, and he comes and tells me, we put it on him then, right? We're up like 8 runs. I think I was like 1 for 3 going into my 4th at bat. But that year there was a different type of confidence. I wanted that 4th at bat, bro. Like, I wanted to go yard. That fence looked so short at one point. I'm like, oh, dude, I need another AB. And the lineup is flying through. And I'm getting my helmet, and I'm trying to hide from 3 to get on deck circle. Like, all I wanted is to get one more at bat.
Yeah.
Sure enough, George goes up to 3 and says, hey, 3, why is Willie still in the game? And 3 pulled me, bro. 3 yanked me out of the game.
Yeah.
Dude, man, it's so frustrating.
That's so.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the guys that didn't start had more at bats than the starters.
I know. We played 5 innings every game that year.
Hey, you don't understand how hard it was to have to play 9 innings the year after. I had to play 9 innings every game. It's
walk off every other game that year.
Yeah, I got lucky.
No way.
Everybody gets lucky once in a while.
All
All right.
Such a big problem now, though. Like, you're talking about wanting that 4th at bat. Nobody wants it anymore.
What's that?
The 4th at bat anymore. Nobody wants that next one. Like, what are we scared of? An out? Making an out? Who cares?
That's a good point. I've been terribly scared of that 4th at bat sometimes, David.
So have I. So many times. Like, what?
Why, though? That you're so right. Who cares? I've struck out 1 billion times.
Yeah. It's like,
But I've also hit a lot of homers.
yeah.
Dang, bro. You're so right. What do you think is the fear? Why do we have that fear?
Because we care too much about our stats.
Which don't matter.
I know.
Oh.
So,
Jeez, man. I'm so frustrated now.
I'm 0 for 3. I don't want it. I'm 1 for 3. I'm satisfied. I don't want it. I'm 2 for 3. That's a good day. I'm set here. It's like, just get the 4th at bat. Who cares?
You could hit a homer.
Yeah.
That's so true, man. Oh, that's so annoying. But again, I think that goes to back to where we started, David. It's about the game of baseball is not I don't know how much we compete, man.
Yeah.
I think there's what do you think? Do you think there's a loss of like that just pure one? I describe it as one-on-one. Like, I don't know when the last time you touched the basketball was, and I don't remember the last time I did, but if I played you right now, we would end up fighting. Like, I'll kill you. I'll dunk on you. I'll literally just hang on the rim over you. Like, there's no doubt about that. Why don't we take that same mentality into baseball?
I don't know. It's too much now. I do like all the swing stuff. I'm into all, like, fixing your swing.
Yeah.
I love it. But it's too much of, I got out, what was wrong with my swing? Like, I got a hit, what was wrong with my mechanics? It's like, that guy just beat you. Like, let that bother you, not the fact that your swing might be off a little bit.
I agree with that. That's very, very true. We don't just compete and play a game. Again, that's what Benny used to tell us all the time too. It's like the right brain and the left brain, right? Am I saying that right?
Something like that, yeah.
It's talking about, hey, don't get me wrong. He's one of the biggest advocates for, like, if your swing sucks, change it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, There's mechanical things that you have to fix. But when it is time to compete, turn that off. It's okay to do that, right? I think nowadays, correct me if I'm wrong, people either think that you have to, either you're mechanical or you don't care about your swing. But you can't be both. Can you be both?
I mean, I think you got to care about your swing. I definitely think you got to care about your swing, but you also can be mechanical. But I don't know. I'd rather someone who wants to go out there and be a killer than someone who wants to go out there and have the perfect swing every time.
All right. All right, so you hit 3 gazillion in your junior year. You hit a bazillion home runs, and you drove in a gazillion runs, right? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Numbers don't matter. I know you don't care about them. I do. They were so sick. But besides the point, talk to me about the draft, brother. We get to the draft. What are you thinking going into the draft? You come up runner-up in who was second in voting for the Golden Spike? Were you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, perfect. Whatever. No big deal. You fell short to Benintendi. I think you should have won. Let's not even talk about it. It is what it is. It's over. It's behind us, right?
Yep.
Talk to me about the draft. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? What are you talking to your agent about?
I was thinking I was gonna go second round was what I was thinking, just based on the year and all that stuff in the Cape, but didn't happen. Then thought I was definitely going third. Didn't happen. And then fourth round, I was like, I mean, by that time I was like, man, like I think I should go this round, but the Brewers were going to take me. I was talking to Malini, my agent. He was like, hey, the Brewers are going to take you to the next pick. I'm like, all right, sweet, let's go. And then literally while we're on the phone, he's like, oh, give me a second. He's like, oh, the Mets are going to draft you. I'm like, sick. So, yeah, I was super pumped, super excited, and all of a sudden, like, just hit me. I just started crying, just, so happy. Just another dream come true. It was awesome.
So compare the feelings from getting called in the second round in high school and getting drafted in the fourth round in college. How was those completely different? Like, how were those feelings so different?
Oh, I think the college was like, I was ready to go. I'd had the experience, lived out that dream a little bit. So it was time, So I knew it was the next chapter, the next time to turn the page to the next thing. So it was a lot easier.
Did you ever have like regret from not taking your offer as a senior in high school?
No, never once. Don't ever even think about it.
I talked to somebody that you know a little bit. You know a kid named Julian Infante?
Heard of her. Good dude.
Brother, obviously I believed what you said right now, but for he walked me through his draft experience, and we compared high school to college, and I've never seen anybody talk so loosely and confidently about turning down the draft as he did. And he says his dad still makes fun of him till this day.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, you should have taken that, bro. Like, what are you doing?
No, I think part of that is knowing like that dude. Huge fan of Infante. I just think he's amazing dude. But he knows who he is. He knows that baseball is not gonna change who he is, or money, or draft, all that stuff.
Did baseball ever define you?
For sure, I let it at times. That's why sometimes I'd be in a little slump and wouldn't talk to people, because I was letting that define me and not who I actually was. But I think that's something I battled my whole career, was not letting the results, not letting the outcomes or the offers or the good times define who I was or how I would act towards other people.
How did you learn to kind of hold that in, or what did you do to kind of hold yourself back from letting that defy you?
I just it's so silly, but I would think, I used to always have it like, man, people like me because I'm good at this stuff. People want to be my friend or talk to me because I have my name here or there in high school or college or when I first got drafted. Like all that stuff. That's not true. People are just like just your friends. Like they don't care if you're 10 for 10 or over 10. They just want to be your friends.
That's crazy. All right, so you get into professional baseball, right? You fly through I don't know if you flew. I guess you would say you moved pretty dang quick right through the minor leagues, right? You're doing really, really well. You get to AAA. You're in Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you talk to me about that season? Talk to me about getting to Vegas and how did it start off for you?
That was my first. Well, I had a really good year in AA in 2017, and then big league camp or fall league did really well. And big league camp, I won the rookie of the year. Like I'm like, dang, this is my year to like. I left camp. They're like, hey, you're the first hitter up. And we need a guy. I'm like, let's go. Feeling all confident, and then start off a little slow. I was hitting like 270, like kind of like.
Oh, tough, yeah. It was really tough.
Like I know, which like looking back, man, I wasn't even doing that bad. But at the time, I was stressed. Like, man, I should be hitting better. But anyways, it's like 3 weeks in and got hit by a pitch, broke my hand. I'm like, dang, just like another little hurdle. And then rehabbing, went to low A to rehab, and then I had that same elbow surgery again to miss that season. So yeah, that was a tough year. That was a really hard year on me. Just I was so bummed about all that stuff. But
How did it feel to, again, bro, it really is what it is. Like, how did it feel to be sitting on the sideline and watching guys because we all know how it is in AAA, right? Like, people get called up every other day. It's like, oh, there goes a dream come true. There goes a dream come true. There goes a dream come true. And you be sitting in Port St. Lucie, like, wow. Like, how did that feel to see everybody getting called up? Did it hurt you?
yeah, for sure. I was like, I was a little jealous, honestly. Just like,
Yeah.
what I wanted that. But it was also like some of my really good buddies that were getting called up. I'm super pumped for them. But yeah, at the same time, I'm like, dang, it could have been me. But again,
Yeah.
I think all that is going back to like, you know, my like finding my identity and being a big leaguer. All these other things are accomplishments.
So after that year, right, you get healthy, go back to AAA. Talk to me about having to now get to AAA again and then having to work backwards, right?
Yeah, well, the next year I'm like, whatever, last year's done. Just gonna go do it this year, get the call, and I stunk the whole entire year. I was really bad. I was so bad, and then got sent down to AA. I'd never gone backwards before, so that was tough. That was a couple tough years in a row, baseball wise.
Yeah. Now, did you go to the alternate site?
Not the first year, the second year, yeah.
Gotcha. So you go to the alternate site. Do you see things turning upwards again, or was it like, oh man, I don't know. Did you ever start having any doubt about making it to the big leagues?
Yeah, 100%. I thought they were going to release me before, and then I think someone got hurt, so they called me the alternate site, and I think I was just going to be there to, be there to have an extra body, but I hit really, really well there that year. I think it was 2021, I think, or 2020. I don't know, one of those years.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that was the best year I ever had, especially that first half. I was killing it first half. Probably best I ever played in my life up to that point. But then again, I felt like I was getting close again toward my hammy. But yeah, just
Just life.
gotta go see the doc one more time. That guy.
Did you have surgery on your hamstring too?
No, thank goodness. Thank goodness. It was just that's a long rehab.
All right, so you talk about being very successful that year. It was one of the best years. You end up with an injury, but you're now a free agent, right? What are you thinking going to free agency? Do you think you're going to get picked up, or what's in your mind? What's going through your head?
Yeah, I definitely thought I was going to get picked up. I thought my numbers. I mean, I struggled a little bit or a lot the last few weeks when I came back from the hammy. But before that, I mean, I had third every day. Hit third. I was having a great year. So I thought for sure I'd get picked up from the year before, but nothing happened. So that's when we got to go to the beautiful Kansas City Monarchs together.
Oh man! Now tell me what this summer meant to you, man. Tell me what you thought of when you signed the independent ball contract after being, right? We're talking about David Thompson, breaks the home run record in high school, goes to Miami, runner up in the Golden Spikes, 4th-round pick, top prospect, injuries, this, that, a step away from the big leagues, and now you're going to independent ball. Like, how did that feel for you? Like, if we really sit down and say, wow, man, like, you would have probably, I'm sure, at one point or another, did you ever say, I'm never going to play indie ball?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I ever said it out loud, but I always was like, any ball, like, nah, like, who would ever do that? But, man, I'm so glad I went. What a summer.
What did this summer mean to you?
One, I think it showed me that I worked real hard the whole off season to get picked up and have a shot with someone, but one, it just like, it proved to me that summer, like, man, I'm still good, which was good, but also just like playing with you, with Big City, JC, like just the team we had, just like I loved going to the field again. Loved playing. It was just like the games again. It was just like just going out there competing. I felt like it was. I loved it.
When was the last time you had that feeling before playing in Kansas City?
I mean, probably not, but probably like my first or second year of pro ball when I was just still young and fun. But Miami, it was like the last time I just want to go compete and like I really wanted to win those games. I think our whole team did. Unlike minor league ball, it's like, we lost, whatever.
Why is professional baseball like that? Like, why are the minor leagues like that? Why is pro ball, you think, like that?
I think because all everyone cares about is getting to the big leagues. It's not as much like, which obviously that should be your goal. Your goal shouldn't be to stay in low A or double.
Yeah.
Like you want to get to the big leagues, but I don't know. I think it starts from the top. I think it starts from the organizations where it's like minor leagues doesn't. We just want you guys to be healthy. We don't care if you win or lose. We have these guys that we need to be healthy, so everyone else is just like kind of, you know. But
Pawns on the board.
yeah,
What would you tell 21-year-old David signing his contract? What would you tell him to do right now?
I would tell him to go enjoy as much as you possibly can and build. Like I think the best thing baseball's ever done for me is the relationships it's given me. Like not even close. That's the best thing this game's ever given me. So I mean, like this is sick. Like me and you doing this, but also like Hommel, Keel, Beatty, Shaw, like all these guys are my best friends, you know. So yeah, I'll tell them just go enjoy and go compete your butt off every single day. But
Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry again, but dude, looking back right now to the kid that was playing at Prime Core League, like, would you have ever thought this would be the ride?
no chance. No chance.
Oh man, could you
No.
have guessed this was the story?
No. I would have written it a lot different. But glad I didn't have the pen. Serious.
Oh man, how thankful are you that it did? Even though I understand what you're saying, how much do you appreciate the way it did go?
I loved it. Just gosh, I still love this game. Like love it. But I don't even know what to say. It's just like I'm so thankful for all the ups, all the downs, all the times I wanted to just, you know, not quit, but just like this is stupid, you know, like this game's the worst. How many times I said that, and how many times I'm like, man, you know, this game's the best game ever. All the different emotions that you walk through, all the man. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't write it any other way. Knowing how it went.
Would you call it a perfect story?
No chance. But I'd call it a perfectly written story, I guess. But
Oh man, how are you gonna be with your kids, David? How are you when you have kids? How are you gonna tell them these? Are you gonna tell them the stories that you went through?
yeah, of course. And then if they ever get out, I'm gonna smack them. You know.
Oh man, and say absolutely not. What did your dad? This is actually a good one. What did your dad used to do when you would go over?
I mean, if I hit a bunch of pop-ups, he'd always tell me that they were gone in Cooperstown, which always made me super upset.
Where would he take you though after bad games?
Yeah, that
As a kid?
always got to go to Dairy Queen. Make me feel better. That's
But
my love for ice cream started.
now that I think about it though, I think the reason that he did that is because there was probably nobody, including your dad, that could have been harder on yourself than you ever were.
No, definitely not.
Like nobody took things as hard as you did for yourself. So looking back when you first told me that story, I'm like, bro, what? Wow, your dad's crazy for doing that. Are you serious? Better take him to the cages. But you were probably already so mad after the game. Like your dad didn't have to say anything to you.
Yeah, I remember one time both my parents had to come outside. I think it was high school. Like got back late from a game, had a bad game, so I put up the net outside and I just like started hitting balls in the net. But I don't know. And my parents were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I can't sleep. I hit so bad. They're like, "Put this away. Go inside."
Like go to sleep, David.
Can't.
Oh man, I know it's late, bro, but I just have one more question because I know this is something that means a lot to you. How much of an impact was your older brother to your life and your career?
Yeah, I mean that's how you get me to cry every time. No, I mean that's my best friend, my ultimate like encourager. Like just would always show up randomly, and every time, you know, he wasn't there every game, but when he showed up, it was like, man, I was like, I always just wanted to put on a show for him, just because. I mean, growing up, that's who. If someone was I remember playing basketball at the park one time. These older dudes were picking on me, like playing. My brother's like, "Go inside for a second, David." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "What are you gonna do?" But no, it's just that's my big bro, protector. You know, took care of me all the time, always there for me. So just I always wanted to put on an extra show for him when he was there, if I could or tried to.
Oh man, that's amazing, man. That's amazing because I know that's a bond that is so special to you, and I've seen you guys interact, right, and just the conversations that you guys have and the love that you have for each other is like something I've never seen, right? And I know you love everybody in your family very, very, very much, but I hear those conversations and I see the way that you guys interact with each other, and it's second to none, right? And I could see how much he motivated you to be the person that you are today.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh man. And okay, I guess the last thing, Allison.
Allison, oof,
Do you like her a little bit?
she's the best thing that ever could have happened to me.
How did you get so lucky, by the way?
I don't know. I'm hitting out of my league, that's for sure. But
You made it to the big leagues, brother. If there's any big leagues, you made it.
I'm beyond the big leagues.
You're in the Hall of Fame,
I'm in
kid.
the Hall of Fame, that's for sure.
What does your wife mean to you?
So, I mean, I can't put in words. Like she's my everything. Just ultimate, supporter, cheerleader. She's tough. She's not gonna be shy. Full of grace. Just, I mean, goofy. Always joking around. Like, man, she's the best. She's the best.
Um, David, I'm so thankful to have you in my life, and I can't explain to you how grateful I am for you to spend this time with me. I know we talk for hours all the time, but
Yeah.
this is extra cool for me because it means a lot, man. It means a lot for you to be able to be vulnerable and put it on camera because not many people know this, right? Know these stories and know these things that maybe you had to overcome. People believe that it was always easy, right? And that's definitely not the case, right? There was nothing easy about having to go through the things that you went through, and I can't wait I mean, bro, for a lifetime of friendships, man. I mean,
I know.
so I care about you and I love you so much.
Yep, love you too. Still tell everyone you're the best teammate I ever had in my life.
I appreciate that, bro.
Not even
I don't know how true that is, but
100% true. I don't even have to think about it.
thank you, brother. I love you, man. I love you. And by the way, so everybody knows, David will be marrying Savannah and I, so
Let's go.
I can't wait for that, bro. But I love you. I appreciate this time. I'm sorry for taking it away from Allison.
All
I
right.
apologize, but I hope she can forgive me.
Yeah.
But thank you, man. I love you so much, and I appreciate it.
Love you too, bro.
I'll call you in a second.
All right. Bye.
I love you. Bye.